Well, what a game. They don't get much closer than that any time of year, regular season or playoffs. And, just an amazing sequence of events. What a shot. What a play at the end. And Reggie Miller's in the building. So you got to feel like that gave us a little bit of good fortune as well. So really proud of the group. Rough week, a lot of games. Lousy setup back-to-back, playing a team that's rested. But nobody complained. Everybody just put their head down and was ready to play and try to do their job. And so we had to be very resilient in this game. We were. And, the shot Tyrese hit is, that's one they're going to be talking about for a lot of years.
Rick, how much has that play evolved since, Jenny put it in and you guys ran it in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, that's the Sue Bird, Jenny Busick flag football play. And Mike Weiner's kind of done some of the refining of it, and Mike, does our special team stuff, and he drew it up. So it was you're just hoping to create some confusion and get a look, and Tyrese made great move to the ball, and there was momentum, and there was a foul. So. Very, very special set of circumstances, very fortunate.
Pascal said, tough players make tough plays when he did his post-game interview. What can you say about Haliburton returning from injury today and having a moment like that?
Yeah, and, we were really watching his minutes closely. That's the number one defensive team in the league since January 1st. And they play big, they play strong. Prince is a physical defender, made it tough on Ty all night. And, we just had to find a way to keep pace in the game and to keep attacking. And so, down the stretch, we had some really good looks that didn't go in. And in those situations, it's easy to drop your head and, feel sorry for yourself. Our guys didn't do it. They kept their heads up. They kept playing. They kept fighting and gave themselves a chance.
Just to keep on that piece, it did seem like you guys created a lot of good looks that you just weren't able to knock down. Just what did you like about overall operation tonight? It just seemed like everybody kind of functioned seamlessly with Tyrese back in there. You guys were able to get a lot of at least opportunities, even if they didn't go down before that one.
Yeah, much better than last night. We struggled last night. We were off. Our prep session today was not long on the court, but we were able to clean some things up. And it's probably becoming a tired term, but, we are a basketball ecosystem that is very reliant on its total sum parts to function at its best. And so, getting Ty back, getting Mathurin back the last couple of games is key. Mathurin was great off the bench tonight. Obi Toppin, he got jerked in and out a little bit because of all the matchup stuff that was going on, but he went back in the second half and kept his head up and attacked and made a couple of huge plays. And so that's the kind of spirit we got to have. That's the kind of team we got to be, and this is what basketball in the state of Indiana is. It's selfless and it's determined.
What would you like about Pascal on both ends? Obviously, he's very efficient shooting the ball and getting his buckets, but he obviously gives you that body that you can put on Giannis as a kind of primary defender. You had a kind of a manageable number, out of Giannis, 19, considering what you've seen from him do before. What would you like about not only the defense, but also the rebounding and the scoring from Pascal tonight?
Yeah. Pascal's a great player. He's an all-star. And he and Tyrese together are a tremendous tandem. And they set the table for a lot of what we're trying to do here. And as you've seen, over the last couple of years, we try to always keep one of them in the game. Ran Pascal longer in the beginning of the game with the Giannis matchup. It felt tenuous there in the first quarter. We needed him in there. And so that kind of screwed things up for Obi in this game. But some nights you just got to find a way. And, teams like ours, got to be resourceful. And so, Pascal was great. And during that stretch in the first quarter, I think, I called a second timeout, which nobody likes to do, to get him back into the game. And then I think we went on a run and got a 4-point lead going into the second quarter. So, it's important to play from in front whenever you can, as often as you can.
So last thing, because you mentioned Mathurin, what did you like about his approach? You talked before about him driving too much into crowds. It looked like he was doing a lot of the things you've been asking from him tonight. What did you like about just the efficiency up here, just that kind of quick decision-making as well?
Yeah, I thought he spaced the floor well. I thought he was very disciplined and patient. The second half became a very physical back and forth type thing, and he found ways to manufacture some free throws and to make some things happen. And that's the real huge value of a guy like him. In a game that is a rock fight kind of game, he's gonna rise to the occasion. He's gonna make some important things happen, which he did.
Yeah, it's a play we have in for late game, and usually I hate running that play because I feel like I never get the ball, and I tried to convince coach to let me switch sides, and they were like, no, run it the regular way. And we AA and Miles did a great job of causing confusion in the middle of the court, and I just kind of came off, got open, Drew found me, and just made the shot.
That moment after the buzzer ends, your whole team mobs you, your dad comes in and gives you a big hug. What was that like, especially against a huge game like that?
Yeah, just a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun competing. You guys know the history between us and that team, so feels good to get a win there, and sets up a huge game in Milwaukee for us in a couple of days. And just obviously a great feeling, stuff you dream of. So I'm thankful that my teammates trust me, and that down the stretch there I made some boneheaded plays. Before I missed a 3 over Brook, and I traveled. Suspect travel, but I, team trusts me, and just going out there trying to make plays.
Yeah, when I lost it, sorry.
I want to go back into the history of that play. You said you don't like it because you don't usually get it, but what do you remember about kind of the first time that Jenny or Rick or whatever just brought it into practice? Where it was a camp? I mean, what do you remember about it? And even if you don't like it for yourself personally, what do you like about it in terms of what it does collectively to kind of open up space in this scenario?
Yeah, it's kind of obviously like a football play. It's like our version of like 4 verts kind of. The first time we ever ran it in training camp, maybe 2 years ago, I'd made the shot same way, and I haven't made it since. I haven't got the ball since or made it since. So, feels good to see it work. And Rick and Mike and Jenny and LP are, great with the pen, and have great end of play or end of game packages. So I trust those guys.
It seemed like it was. I think it looked like you shot it off of 1 foot. Am I right on that?
No, I shot off 2 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how were you just trying to sort of make sure that you were in bounds, basically? Just kind of, how are you just trying to sort of tiptoe and make sure that?
Well, I'm not thinking about that. I've shot that shot enough to where I feel like I should know where I am on the court and be in bounds. It's just a matter of getting it off. And I was, in that moment, guys might think to like pump fake and try to get guys to jump, but I think smart defenders know if you can just stay down and force them to make a tough shot, that's what you do. So just rose up. I jumped higher than I normally do, kind of like on a mid-range jumper. It's kind of what I have to do down the stretch, and just went in.
So just obviously just going back through the injury, at what point in time do you know you can go today? What's the last kind of 3 or 4, 5 days been like going through the injury? When did you kind of discover it in the first place? What did you have to get to today to be able to play?
Yeah, it's something I've been going through for a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago I was listed, questionable with my groin. It's the, same thing in that general area. So it was just getting to the point where, the pain was really lingering. So, wanted to evaluate it the right way, take care of myself, and, put myself in a better position. And tonight we're operating a little bit of a minutes crunch. And, don't know what that'll look like moving forward, but feel good. I feel like those days of, rest and strength testing and all that stuff have been good for it. And, I feel So I feel really good right now. Sucks that it had to happen when I was in, such a great rhythm myself. But, is what it is. And just don't want to linger come playoff time and, when it's really time to, lock in. So thankfully it's not around right now, and hopefully it continues to stay that way.
Just how'd you feel just out on the floor? It looked like you were moving pretty well. Obviously, it just seemed like you had a lot of kind of good-looking shots that just kind of rimmed out.
Yeah, no, I felt good. I just missed some shots. I mean, I thought we as a group missed a lot of open ones. We feel really comfortable. Felt like we got a lot of good looks, I don't know if there's probably some advanced stat that Caitlin will write about or something. But, there's got to be, I'm sure there's a shot quality versus, the shot actually going in. And I would bet that we rank tonight probably the biggest differential maybe in the league this year. We got a ton of good looks. We just didn't make them. So, feel really comfortable, and we work really hard. So, make or miss league, guys will start to make some shots.
So what did you guys just have to do as a collective just to kind of keep your heads down through that? I mean, again, it was a lot of shots that you guys usually make.
Yeah.
As far as just, what it takes to kind of press through that, and I guess especially in your case, knowing, hey, you got to make this one right now.
Yeah, just dig in, understand you're not going to make every shot, and, you got to feel comfortable with the looks. I felt like a lot of the shots we shot tonight I felt really comfortable with from everybody. And, I think offensively, that's how you got to approach the game. Like, what are the processes behind the shots? Are we getting good shots? And I feel like we did tonight. We just didn't make them, And the sometimes awful part about the NBA is if we would have lost this game, it would have been talked about our offense didn't look, it didn't look right, but it looked really good. We're just missing some shots, So thankfully, we were able to just figure it out and be better defensively to help us close the game.
Yeah, just going back to the game-winning shot. Did it mean anything extra to you that Reggie Miller was in the building for that one?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. We have a great relationship and a guy that I've really leaned on, since I've been here, and we talk very often, and so for him to be here for that moment is. It's pretty cool. It's something I look back on, way down the line one day. But definitely cool that he was here in the building for that. And there's definitely a lot of Reggie moments in this building, and I'm just trying to create some of my own. And a big part of being a representative of this organization is that I follow up in the footsteps of a lot of greats, and just trying to create my own path behind that, and just trying to create my own moments so that, the same way that kids and fans looked up to him when he was here, they can look at me the same way one day, hopefully. So definitely was special for me.
What are you guys? I mean, obviously you're kind of down the stretch now, heading into the playoffs. What are you hoping that you can take from this now that you won this game this way? What are you hoping you can take from this game? And
I feel like the last 3 games, the little 3-game skid we went on was just 3 games of teams playing harder than us. Don't know if it was necessarily a conceptual thing or, or like X's and O's. I think it was more like an effort thing, and that's unacceptable, especially in a time like right now, where there's only so many games left that can really control, seeding. Detroit's right there with us, Milwaukee's right there with us. So, we got to be better. And I think we had a conversation today about, we can't control makes, can't control misses. We can control effort, though. And, we felt like we just had to do a better job of just matching energy and playing hard for 48 minutes, and I felt like we did a good job of doing that. Nobody's going to ask about my DX Pumas? No? I thought those were cool.
Tell us about
Do you know what DX is? Yeah. D-Generation X? You know the signal?
Yes, I do.
I was gonna hit it tonight, but I don't want the fine. Yeah, I should have. I missed the moment right there. But it would have been worth the 25 for sure. Yeah, that would have been fire.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just impossible angle. I mean, I don't know. Over Giannis, I don't even, I don't think you can see over him. I mean, he just made an incredible shot, and I think it's just, special players to make those type of shots at those moments. So, shout out to him.
Given the road trip you guys just had, how important was both that moment and getting this win today?
Yeah, I think it's super important. I think we had 3 games where, again, we felt like we didn't play to the best of our abilities, and we might have let some of those games slip. One thing I told everybody is like, all right, like we just gotta go out there and get the tough ones, like, and today is one of those games, the tough games against a tough team, and to be able to just continue to play hard. I just shout out to everyone just playing with so much energy, no matter what's going on in the game. Up, down, like I think it didn't matter. Like I think everyone was just focused on just doing their job. And at this point of the season, like that's what it's gonna come down to. Getting that momentum to get into the playoff. We gotta. The only way is through the storm. Shout out my man Friday. He said that. I don't know if you guys know Friday, but yeah, album is fire, by the way. Probably my favorite to listen to right now. But yeah, we gotta get through the storm. Like that's how you get stronger. So that's what we gotta do.
What was working for you tonight? I think you had a double-double by halftime.
Yeah, it was just, I think I didn't really like the way I kind of like rebounded the last games, just coming in was just a little bit more. I mean, I think, again, sometimes rebound just happens, if you're in the right spot, you get the rebound. But again, just trying to be aggressive, and just from the jump, just making sure that my presence is felt, having someone to just bring that energy, get rebounds, push in transition, and make plays not only for myself but for my teammates. And that's what it's going to take, And I just wanted to take that challenge from the beginning of the game and get my guys set up for the rest of the game.
You've obviously dealt with Giannis a lot. Held him to 19 tonight. I mean, just how do you generally approach that matchup? Obviously, it's not just one guy, covering him. You're using multiple bodies there, but you're generally the primary first person who's dealing with him. What did you think you did well, and how do you? I
mean, he's tough, so I think you just got to try to make it hard on him, like make it tough. Like his first thrust to the rim, like trying to, kind of like body him up as much as you can, but. He's a great player. He's gonna make tough plays, and like you said, I think it's a team job, and we got to continue to do that. But I think for me initially, just basically don't let him just run to the rim. Try to make it as hard as I can.
What you like overall about just the offensive operation? It seemed like bringing Tyrese back. It seemed like a lot of the spacing worked. I mean, he was able to bring two bodies and move the ball pretty well. It seemed like you guys got a lot of open shots that you didn't necessarily make, but you got them.
Yeah, no, we like the shots that we got, and obviously the result wasn't there, for a lot of them, but just great shots. Like, I mean, there's nothing we can really say about it, I think some of those shots, you had like 3-4 seconds to even think about it and still wide open, so it's like that's what we want to be, and just like the movement, it wasn't sticking or anything like that. It was just like the way we play, and that's how we want to play and generate open shots, and there's going to be some nights we're going to make them, and we hope that we make a lot more.
Just how do you keep the mindset in that space to keep shooting when you're missing ones that you usually make? How do you keep from thinking, oh man, maybe I got to pass these out?
Yeah, I mean,
take the ones that are there.
Yeah, you put the work in. It's like when you in practice, how many shots you miss in practice? Like, right. You miss a lot of them. You get to the game and it's like, all right, you miss 1, 2, 3. I mean, it feels like the end of the world, but I probably miss 1,000 shots in practice. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. You just got to keep shooting. And I think just having that mindset and everyone just encourages everyone to just continue to shoot, like, and that's the mindset, coach is like, you're wide open, lace it up, let it fly. So when you have that, it's like, what else do you need? You put the work in and you got the backing from all the teammates and the coaches, and you have to do it.
Just beyond the shot he hit at the end, what impressed you just about how Tyrese approached tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously first game back, you're not going to be 100%, but I just like, his focus on defense, on the game plan and the things that we wanted him to do, and he did it well. And then on offense, just, obviously getting us in the right spots. He probably could have had like a lot of assists, a lot more. He already had a lot, but I feel like he could have had way more. Missing some wide open shots there. I was guilty of one of those, messing up one of his assists. But I just thought he plays the game the right way, and when you just continue to make the right plays, throughout the game, it comes a point where you have to save us, and he did.
Such a gritty game. Felt like a playoff atmosphere at times. What can you take from this win going forward the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's important. We have a team that's ahead of us in the standings. So we played against them in the playoffs last year. Like it's 19 games left or 18? I don't know. I'm losing count, but those games are super important, every possession. And I thought our focus was great. Just continuing to work on that and knowing that this is the games that's gonna, make a difference and, maybe get a home court or not or whatever in the playoffs. So we got to take every single game the rest of the way this way and just approach it, with that same mentality and physicality and togetherness.
How does that experience that you have in the league, and like specifically with the finals run with Toronto, how has that shaped kind of how you approach big games and the pressure that comes with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've been there, you've seen them, and that's kind of like the same thing I said with taking shots. It's like you worked on them, you've seen 1,000 of them, and it's like, when you get to the game, you just got to do what you do in practice. And I think for me, having that experience and being in games where it was really decisive, and I just try to be myself, try to stay as calm as I can. It gets hectic out there, and it's easy to lose focus or get anxious, but just trusting the work and trusting my teammates and trusting everything that we've done, and also pair that with the fact that I've been in those moments before, so it feels like natural.
Take me through your perspective of that last play, that last shot, and what was going through your head in that moment.
Man, we ran a play, a lot of confusion, and Tyrese was kind of open initially, but the way Brooke was standing, it wasn't really open, so he kept going, kind of flipped it to him, and he just was falling at that moment.
He said that sometimes he doesn't get the ball on that play when you guys practice.
Yeah,
you
doesn't.
usually the inbounder in those, and how
Yeah.
tough is that pass that you made?
No, he usually doesn't get the plays, usually for like a different person, but I'm not going to say it on camera. But yeah, it was, when I watched it back, his guy got clipped off perfectly.
What goes through your mind in that play in general? When you're the trigger man in that play, what are you looking for, basically, when you're the one who's making the inbound pass, and what's going through your mind in terms of what you're
I'd
trying
rather
to
not
see?
say what I'm looking for because it's based on the play.
Sure, right.
Looking for the guy who's most open with a good chance to shoot the ball. He also has 5-6 seconds, so it didn't necessarily have to be that shot, but it worked out well.
What do you like about that play? Just that kind of football four verticals concept. I mean, like what in terms of a more set kind of half court.
If I'm being honest, I don't know if I love the play.
What does it do for you? I guess is a better question.
It causes confusion because it's not really conventional. Mm-hmm. So teams are kind of thrown off by how to guard it. Should I be up tight? They ended up backing up a little bit and working our favor. So it causes confusion.
After the road trip you guys just had, how big was that one to get today?
It was big. It was big, especially looking at the stands. We're right there with Milwaukee, so good to get a head-to-head win, as well as get back on the W column.
Just obviously Tyrese coming back, it just seemed like the offensive operation was pretty smooth. Just what you like about how you seemed like you were able to get a lot of good shots you didn't necessarily make, but it seemed like the ball was moving and player, you had ball and player movement closer to what you wanted to.
Yeah, I think we did a good job of moving the ball, getting in the paint. They converged pretty heavily, and we had a lot of open threes. So that's a positive moving forward that we can make more of those.
What do you like about just what you guys did defensively? I mean, obviously kept Dame and Giannis from putting up crazy numbers. Obviously they're going to get theirs, but I mean, it seemed like both of those guys were able to keep them in check. What do you feel like you guys were able to do well against them?
Yeah, full team effort. We had a good game plan. We played hard, put fresh bodies on guys all game. So just try to wear them down for 48 minutes and not make little mistakes